Blake Wesley has been playing really well lately. Unfortunately, Malaki Branham has not.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. I got to thinking over the weekend, man, I really feel like Malaki Branham's kind of in the doghouse right now, really on a short leash. And I caught an article on Pounding the Rock that really confirmed that. I thought, you know what, let me share a little blip from that article and then give my 2 cents, of course. Give your 2 cents in the comments down below, Spurs fans. Is Blake Wesley taking Malaki Branham's spot in the rotation, or has he already done so? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit the thumbs up if you'd like to help support the channel, and subscribe to become part of our awesome Spurs community. Let's get into the article I found first on Pounding the Rock. Malaki Branham is clearly on a short leash right now. For the second game in a row, he was benched after a bad play in the first half and never returned, ceding his minutes to a rapidly improving Blake Wesley. After being pulled for a bad defensive rotation in the first half against Charlotte, he ended the first quarter in Washington by getting his pocket picked while dribbling down the clock, resulting in a Wizards layup just before the buzzer. Trey Jones returned in his place to start the second quarter, and Wesley again got his backup minutes from then on. I remember that turnover in the Washington game, as I'm sure many of you do. I was like, oh boy, great job, Malaki. And that was the last time we saw him that game. If we take a look at the last 5 games, just a short sample size of how both players are playing. This is Malaki Branham first. And we look at his minutes, Spurs fan. He played okay in the Bulls game, and shot terribly from beyond the arc. Actually, he's been shooting terribly from beyond the arc his all-short NBA career so far, but he did contribute 14 points. But since then, only 10 minutes against Atlanta. He had 16 minutes against Boston, and then 8 minutes against Charlotte, and then he had that turnover in Washington and was pulled after only playing 4 minutes. Now, the combination of his bad play there and Blake Wesley's improved play, and granted, Blake's game still has a lot of issues. He can't hit a 3 to save his life. I don't believe he's hit a three-pointer all year, and he's been struggling mightily from the free throw line. But as you can see, he has been playing much better. 15 minutes the last 2 games. He's getting, some assists in his backup role and been scoring here and there and contributing, and he's got his blazing speed. He's making better decisions. All in all, just the eyeball test, really. When you look at Malaki Branham as of late, he's struggling, and Blake Wesley is not. And you know what? We're going to defend Malaki Branham here just for a second, Spurs fans. He was drafted as a 3-level scorer. Now, granted, some games he's only 2-level scorer. Heck, sometimes he's a no-level scorer, and that's not helping us out. He's not a great defender, but he's kind of in a Malaki Branham point guard experiment where he started point in some games as a starter, and now he's kind of the backup point guard for the Spurs, backing up Trey Jones. He's not a point guard. He's being pushed into that role. He is failing at that role, and at least I think he's losing confidence, and he clearly seems to be on a very, very short leash. But it's not as highly fair to him. That's not his position, and he's playing way out of position. Point guard is, I think you would agree, the hardest position to learn in the NBA. And when you've been playing one position your whole career, and now you're getting asked to do backup duty and starter duty in another, we saw Jeremy Sohan fail miserably at point guard. Fail miserably. And now Malaki, too, is being severely affected by being put into this role. I think he'll bounce back. It'll take time. If Doug McDermott or Cedi Osman get traded before the very upcoming and close, right around the corner trade deadline, which I think is around February 8th, then he'll probably get those minutes back. But he's on a short leash. If he messes up, has a turnover, misses a couple shots, has a couple bad defensive plays, I think Pop going to pull him. We're not going to see him again. Or maybe even starting tonight against 76ers, 7 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV will be live. Just a little cheap plug. Maybe Blake has already taken that spot. He's been playing with confidence. The turnovers are much less than we saw previously this season and last season. He's finishing so much better at the rim now. It was a running joke on this channel last year and earlier this year in the Summer League and preseason that Blake Wesley him going into the paint is essentially a turnover, as he just got blocked left and right. Whenever he would go for a layup, blocked. He would just always put his defender and his body in a great position for the defender to easily block the shot, and he's doing that far less. He's getting some dunks here and there. He plays very good defense, and pretty much, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he shut Trae Young down in the second half when he was on him. When the Hawks played the Spurs, Young was having a career-type game in the first half. Blake was defending him in the second half, and Trae could not get anything going. So he's a much better defender than Malaki Branham. He's extremely fast in transition, and he's a point guard. The Spurs drafted him as a point guard. Is he a starting point guard yet? No, I don't think so, not at all. But I think he should clearly be the backup to Trae moving forward. Trey Jones in, needs a rest. Put Blake in. He's playing at a much better level right now, playing with confidence. But don't give up on Malaki. Just have him come off to be what you draft him for. Be a scorer. And maybe things will get better as the season progresses. This is a season, that we keep saying, experimentation, trust the process, etc. But I think we also need to put our players in the best position to succeed. And having Jeremy Sohan be a point guard clearly was not the best place for him to succeed or his teammates surrounding him. And Malaki Branham playing the point, clearly not the best place, in my opinion, for him to succeed, and it doesn't seem to be helping anybody around him either. So, we'll see. We have 4 games this week, Spurs fans. We have 4 games next week. Got a lot of games, a couple back-to-backs. Hopefully Wemby's minutes restriction gets lifted sometimes this week. I know it's driving you crazy. It's driving me crazy seeing our guy play only 25, 26 minutes a game, barred from playing back-to-backs, and we have that back-to-back this weekend and next week. So hopefully he gets back to just being out there as much as possible within reason, because he's fun to watch. And the team, even though they're losing still quite a bit, has been so much more competitive lately, minus, I guess, the Celtics game, which that's the Celtics. And tonight might be a rough game, too, against the Sixers. I'm very excited to see Wemby against Embiid. Embiid is a big dude. Correct me if I'm wrong, Spurs fans, but isn't he about 280, 285, if memory serves me correct? That's going to be a tough matchup for Wemby. That being said, Wemby was incredible height, and agility, and ability. Might be able to still defend him well. B might be able to muscle him around, but he might be able to reposition himself and affect the shot or block the shot. So we'll see. It'll be a fun time. And hey, best of luck to both these guys. I know some of you saying give up and pick, give up, trade them. These are 2022 first-round picks. I'd like to see both of these guys succeed instead of failing. So that's all I got. I'll see you tonight for the Spurs and 76ers. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, go Spurs, go.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.